everyone. Welcome to my channel for new viewers. Welcome back to my channel for those who already subscribe. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some products that I recommend that you take with you on a cruise vacation, including a hat I'm wearing. I was recently on a wonderful cruise in Europe and definitely did my research, asked a lot of my friends who'd been cruising, some of my friends who'd been to Europe, what they recommended. And these are the products that I took from their recommendations and took with me. And I will tell you whether or not I think you need them or whether you could leave them at home. So I have kind of a large pile behind me here, as well as a few strange things hanging in visible places. So we're going to talk about all of those, probably in no particular order. So the first thing that I recommend that you buy, and I bought these on Amazon, these are magnetic hooks. These, I believe, are rated to hold about 48 pounds. And they come in, I believe there was 12. I have them in various places that I'm using them at home. But they'll come in about, I believe, like I said, 10 or 12 items. And I will link below to where I got these from on Amazon. They weren't horribly expensive, but they're quite strong. These, like I said, hold about 48 pounds. And to get them apart, you don't want to get your fingers or any skin or anything in between them when you put them together, because they're quite powerful. But the walls and doors on the cruise ships are metal. So the other problem with cruising is there's no storage space anywhere. So anywhere you can create your own storage space is wonderful, and many places are the walls and or your doors, be it your bathroom door or your cabin door. So super easy to create some storage. So I utilized these, like I said, in many ways. We had these on the back of our door, and we held our cruise cards and our lanyards on those. The other thing I purchased, and we're going to just move right into this, is this came off Amazon, and you actually get two of these. They're closet organizers, and they hang up. They come with some over the door hooks, which I left at home, and I used these to hang these off of the walls. So because the particular closet shoe organizer I got came with two pocket, we had one of these hanging on the wall of our in our cabin, and I had items. We had snacks in there. We had chewing gum. We had our various sunscreens and things like that hanging in these. And then I also used the second one next to our door, which was our bathroom door was right there. I hung it on the back of our bathroom door, and this is where when we came in and we were wanting to take our sunglasses off, we would put our sunglasses in there, all kinds of stuff like that. We had our, again, more sunscreens that we were bringing in back and forth. Anything little that we were carrying that we wanted to just put somewhere, we would put in these pockets. They're wonderful. Like I said, they come with hooks that are supposed to go over the door, which is how I have them on this door. But these hooks are perfect for that. So has two little grommets that you just slip over this, and you can move them around. Like I said, I could use the cabin wall, which did not have a door to put the grommets or the hooks that it came with. So I recommend you buy these for a whole lot of reasons, and I'm probably going to reference back to these quite a bit. But again, I recommend that you consider some sort of closet over the door shoe organizer and take it with you. It rolls up, folds up into your luggage really easy, doesn't take up a lot of space, and the storage that it provides you with in your small cruise cabin is wonderful. So I'm going to refer back to these again. I recommend that you and anybody you cruise with purchase and bring with you a lanyard. Now you can buy these in the shops on the cruise ship, but it's kind of fun to make your purchase ahead of time and kind of make these say what you want to say about yourself on your vacation. Ours was a summer vacation. We were going to Europe. I just thought it would be fun to have something kind of summery looking, and I already had this. So this was mine. My CPass card was, I had them punch a hole and I clipped it in here. And then we just hung these lanyards. Every time we came into our cabin, we threw our lanyards over one of these magnetic hooks, and which is right on the back of the door, so that every time we left our cabin, we reminded ourselves, you're not going to get back in the cabin without your CPass and your lanyard. So that was a wonderful idea, and it just makes keeping your CPass so much easier if it's around your neck while you're on the ship. It's pretty easy to roll this up and throw it into a pocket or a purse or a bag. So I think you'll find most cruisers will recommend that you get a lanyard. I saw some new cruisers on there who were like, oh, that is a great idea. And like I said, you can go into, I can't imagine that any cruise ship store is not going to have lanyards available. They'll say, you know, they're trying to promote their cruise line. So I very much recommend a simple lanyard. The next thing I recommend, and it depends on the type of cruise you're going and your destinations, but this is a waterproof pouch for my cell phone with a lanyard on it. If you're going places where you're going to be around a lot of water, you might invest in, this was really cheap. I got this for like $2 at Five and Below, which is a simple, almost like a dollar store, but everything's $5 or less. So nothing fancy in here. It's got a little thing you can, if you have a phone that has a jack like mine does, you can plug in here, and you can plug your earphones in if you need to. But they have other types, but I recommend that you get something so that your phone, if it accidentally comes off of you and goes in the water, it's protected. And I actually tested this. When I got it home, I submerged it in a big old bucket of water to see if there was anything. I put some tissue paper in here to see if there was any leaking, and it, surprisingly, for like $2, it worked great. I had no problems. So I recommend you consider something like this for pretty much any type of cruise. You know, they've got the pools on the cruise ships, but you know, if you're going to places where your destinations are beaches and you're going to be out on the ocean or a sea or something, and you're potentially going to possibly get your phone near some water, super easy. The next thing I recommend is investing in a simple set of these. I got these at one of the dollar stores before I left, and they are beach towel clips. So we found out, and I had been warned, that there are times when you are out on deck as your cruise ship is at sea, the wind is howling, and maybe warm and wonderful, and you're out on deck and you're enjoying being in the sun, but the wind is just going to take your towel and let her fly. So because you have to check your towel in and out from the cruise ship, and they will charge you if you don't return it, if your towel goes flying and you can't get it, aka if it goes overboard, you're gonna be liable. But really, that wasn't as much of a concern as just your towel like flying up in your face as you're trying to like get up and move around on your chair. So these are so cheap. They're like $1, maybe $2. This one came with a set of 6. So depending on how many people are going to be on your vacation, just pick up several of these and take them along, and you will love them. I had so many uses for these. When we were not out on deck sitting in a lounge chair with a towel, I used these to hang up clothes that were drying in the cabin and things like that. So you will find other uses for these while you're out cruising. But this leads me into a suggestion to pick up a simple, cheap packet and take, depending on how many people are on your vacation and cruising with you, if you're a family of 4, if there's just 2 of you, take a bunch of just cheap, plain clothespins to pin your clothing in your shower so that it dries overnight. Your bathing suits, anything that's kind of wet from when you've been out. All cruise cabins and the showers have a clothesline built into them, but they don't come with clips. So pick up some clothesline clips. They're super easy and cheap, and you will love them because while the beach towel clips are great for beach towels and larger items to clip on, when you're talking things like small swimming suits and shirts and things, you really do need clothesline clips. And I just brought, like, I think I brought 20 of these along, and it was great. I don't even think we needed all of them for 2 of us, but I definitely recommend, again, that you pick these up in advance, take them with you. You're not going to regret it, because when your clothes are wet, they're not going to dry real well unless you hang them up. So super easy, super cheap, dollar store. The next thing I did was I purchased, and I believe I got this at TJ Maxx, but this is actually a luggage scale that I brought with us on the trip. So I not only used this before I even got to the airport, but we did use this when we were packing up and making sure that our bags were under our allotted weight on our airline. Make sure that you check with your airline to see for their baggage what they allow for weight. Not only weight, but the size of the bags that you take. We flew, like I said, this is a European cruise. We flew on a European airline that we weren't familiar with, and thankfully I did my research and I found that the carry-on bag that I had originally owned and bought and been using for years was oversized for European requirement for that airline. So I actually had to go and I purchased a slightly smaller carry-on bag, and then our weight allotment for our checked bag was 50 pounds or less. So I had to make sure that I had I think I put my threshold for the scale at 48 to make sure I didn't, you know, overpack my bag, but and then made sure that anything over that was in my carry-on or in my personal bag. So this is not that hard to take with you. And you know, if you're going on a vacation and you're buying things and bringing them back, it's really easy to suddenly go overweight on your baggage. So that can end up costing you hundreds of dollars per bag if you're over their allowed weight. So super easy. I believe, like I said, I bought this at TJ Maxx, but you can purchase these probably in just about any store that sells any type of luggage. And you can obviously get them on Amazon. So I just have the battery pulled out right now in its bag because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon and I didn't want to ruin the battery. But I strongly advise for your group, one person has a portable luggage scale. And a funny story is some friends that we made on the cruise who actually had a cabin fairly close to us begged to borrow this, and we're so happy that I let them use it the night that we were departing, or our last night on our cruise ship, because when they had packed their bags, they had gone over on their luggage, so they had to do some shuffling. So really great thing to have with you. The other thing in regards to luggage is, now this will be a little bit cruise line dependent, but I recommend that you go online and you look for these luggage tags for whatever cruise line you're on. We were on Royal Caribbean, and so this is the size that your luggage tags that you will download off their website. This is the size, and so the reason why I recommend these is your tags won't accidentally get ripped off, because what you're doing is you're downloading and you're printing them on paper and then you're stapling them onto your luggage. And if it's raining or if there's a lot going on, you could end up with your tags just getting ripped right off. And so these protect it against the elements. They protect them against you know, any kind of accidental removal. So what happens is these are really great. They just they screw around. You know, you put your tag in, you seal it with a little seal thing, and then you just screw them around the handle of your luggage. And I mean, they can come off. You'll unscrew them off, but it won't be, you know, an accidental. Somebody catches them, rips through the paper, and then, you know, your luggage never gets delivered to your room, and about 8-9 o'clock at night on your first night of your cruise, you're having to go down to see guest services to find lost luggage. So I recommend these. Super easy. Again, these actually say that they work for both Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. I think they're owned by the same parent company, but depending on the cruise line, they sell the different shapes and sizes. And I got these on Amazon, and you know, super easy, very inexpensive, and so worth it. So Other thing I recommend that you purchase and bring, and hope to gosh that you won't need to use, but it's some inclement weather gear. This is just a simple, small, portable, little itty bitty umbrella. If you're walking around at port in a day and it's overcast, it might rain, you might want an umbrella. So get a little travel umbrella. I mean, this isn't really big. Pretty inexpensive. You can get them anywhere. Walmart, you can get them online on Amazon, you can get them at Marshall's or TJ Maxx or, you know, Target or pretty much anywhere. The other thing I recommend, and I bought this off Amazon, it was like a deal of the day. I just sat and watched for like 2 weeks before my cruise looking for good deals on really inexpensive rain jackets. And this one was definitely less than $20 when I got it. I think it might have been about $14. It's not thick and heavy. It's really lightweight, which if you're cruising in the summertime and it's raining, you're not going to want heavy, thick raincoat because you're going to get hot. So this thing was great. It has a really nice hood on it. It's a zip up. It had some pockets in it. But the best part is, with it being so thin and not hot, it also just rolls up into just a tiny little ball that I can jam down into a bag, and easily carried these two with me. We did end up having a day where it was raining. Not hard enough that I used this, because the hood on this worked perfectly for me and it was plenty big to get over my head. So, but I had this in case it started raining a lot heavier. So this was really easy. I jammed it down, like I said, in the very bottom of my bag, and it was a lifesaver for when it was raining. So, you know, you hope that you go on a vacation and that you don't have to worry about rain, but if we could control the weather, can you imagine, right? So super easy. I just looked for something cheap. The zipper on this wasn't like great condition, but knowing that, because I tried it on, you know, when I got it, I was just really careful with it and have had no problems. And it's in my closet, and I use it when it's kind of inclement weather. So I definitely recommend that you bring something for rain.